Well, hello everyone at the Be Awesome Network. I have a very special guest with me today, Dr. Izell Kirkpatrick. How are you, Dr. Izell?
I'm doing great. Thank you so much, Lord, for having me. I'm so excited just to be here.
I'm excited for you to be here. We have a mutual friend of Scotty Yachty Yachty.
Yes. Yeah, he's a wonderful guy, and he lights up the room wherever he goes. So,
Yes, yes. And he introduced me to you. So I'm very grateful for that connection. And we were just talking, you and I were just talking about the mantle of leadership and the fact that you have a passion that you're sharing with the world in the form of two books that you've written. But let's start by telling everyone, where in the world are you coming to us from and what have you been up to lately?
I am coming from the beautiful city of Jacksonville, Florida, and what I've been up to a lot. I guess I'm a serial entrepreneur, so there's several different things that I do. One is I write books and motivational books and books of encouragement, empowerment. I have my own insurance agency, as well as I just got my real estate license last year. So I stay pretty busy.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man of many, many hats.
hmm hmm Yeah.
I love it. So is there one particular part of your life that you favor right now, or do you like to kind of just mix it up and go in and out of different areas?
Um, I like to be able to be diverse. So I love working for myself. My time is very important. But I would have to say my favorite right now is um, what I call the KCC. It's Kingdom Covenant Connection. It's a ministry mentoring, business and ministry mentoring group. So I mentor business owners as well as ministry owners, and just give them practical tips that would help them grow, grow their business, grow them as an individual. So just pouring into people. Over the 30 years, I was a pastor for 30 years. So now I'm taking that knowledge, that time. I'm also a certified business coach, and I just want to pour into people and kind of give back. So I'm excited.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You seem like a person who would like to pour into other people, so that makes total sense. And being a pastor for 30 years is a big accomplishment, so congratulations.
Well, thank you. Thank you. It was a lot of work.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. I know. I was raised in the church and worked at a church for almost 20 years, so I know the feeling, but not I'm not the pastor, not the pastoral, but I do understand that's a big
Working with people. Yeah.
responsibility. Yeah, yeah. So let's get into your story. And when did you first start to get interested in leadership? Was it when you were a young child, or tell us the first time you felt like a leader?
Wow. I would say I was fairly young. I'm a military brat, so I'm from San Diego, California, originally, and my stepdad was in the military. Was always, going out on deployment, and so I wanted some extra income because I felt my allowance wasn't enough. So I started um, finding different things to do to make money. So I did lemonade stand. I would remodel bikes and sell them. And so I started realizing I love business, which then got me into leadership and working with other people. And I think my first leadership role was in the Navy. I at night during Desert Storm, Desert Shield, during that war, I was assigned. I think it was 10 or 12 young men to lead them during that time, which was a very stressful time, of course, being that we were at war. But I was in the admin office, so I was a personnel man. I typed and did stuff. But so I worked with them and managed them, and from that point, I fell in love with just leading people, seeing them start from one place and seeing them grow as an individual. That means so much to me. I think you're on mute, Lord.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There you go.
Thank you.
No problem.
I love that so much. I love that you like to watch others shine, and that makes it even more awesome to have you here in the network, because that is what we're all about, is
Yeah.
helping other people shine. And
Yeah.
so why don't we talk a little bit about your books then?
Awesome. Yes. Well, this the last two that I just wrote will make my fourth and fifth book. My first book was kind of a biography about myself, my life, growing up with, in a home that had some mental illness in it, had uh, some other struggles in it. So I talk about that in my first book, which was accept your past, embrace your present, and anticipate your future. So that's the name of that book. From there, I wrote a children's coloring book, and it's actually uh, about my life too, but in a coloring book form, and it's called "I Can Do This," and it's with Ike the puppy. So Ike the puppy is all through the book. People tell him what he can't do, and he does it, and that's kind of how my life has been. So
Wow.
yeah, so that's for kids. And my last two I just wrote, which we talked about, were my Mantle series, Mantle, Mantle. And one is the mantle of a man, and the other one is the mantle of a leader. And in both cases, we talk basically from those viewpoints. First, with the mantle of the man, um, we have different topics from step parenting. The importance of knowing um, the dynamics of being a stepfather, or some people call bonus dad, um, and then how that works. We talk about how to properly be the protector, but yet still maintain some individuality. Um, we talked about societal um, stereotypes, and that as men, it's okay to show your emotions and to be yourself and to cry and to open up and to talk. I think one of the biggest things that I hear from when I counsel people is he doesn't open up. He won't talk. So I try to, just encourage men that it's okay to be vulnerable, as long as you're in a safe place. So it's just a really good read. They're both short books because men, I'm not going to try to give them a long book because we're not going to read it, most of us. So I give them it's something short but sweet but
Yeah.
powerful, and yeah, I'm getting good reviews so far.
Well, that's great. I love
Yeah,
that. I love
thank
that.
you.
So where did you, I guess you're pulling from your years of experience as a pastor and a leader
Mm.
and yeah, so let's talk just a little bit about that and what was it like to pastor a church for 30 years and then walk away from that. That had to have been so hard because, your heart
Yeah,
and soul is invested in it.
absolutely. For me, I started very young as a pastor. I believe I was 23, and a lot of information I didn't have, unfortunately. And so I kind of was out there on my own trying to make it happen. And just, I knew I hear God's voice. And so I just went forward, made a lot of mistakes that way. But also, as I matured and grew, I also, did some successful things. So um, along the way, I gathered a lot of information. And so, uh, from that age of 23 to now, I'll be 53. um, those 30 years of pastoring really brought me to a place where uh, I now want to pour into people to hopefully help them, prevent them from making some of the mistakes that I did, some of the things that I wish I would have done different, you know. Um, and my wife, Dr. Tanya, she's been very instrumental in just, kind of stretching me and pulling me to another level of success and excellence. And so I want to be able to share that information with people. So that's one of the reasons why we wrote these books. And I transitioned. It wasn't easy, but after COVID, I think you would agree the world shifted a little bit. Church changed. People were now comfortable with being home on their laptops watching the service. And so for churches that had a hard time shifting, they 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 didn't last. A lot of churches closed their doors, even because now all of a sudden, over 50% of your parishioners are now online, and you had to adapt to technology. You had to adapt to the changes of the environment. And so I want to help people. Matter of fact, I have another book called Pandemic Proof Your Ministry. And
Okay.
yeah, so I want to help not only pastors, but leaders, business leaders as a business coach, help them to navigate this new normal where it comes to marketing um, or just being able to get their brand out there, understanding what that means and what it's about. Um, and so that's my main goal now. The rest of my life, I want to just pour into people. Most of the services I provide are very minimal in price or free. Um, it's just about giving back at this point.
Yeah, I love that. I love that.
Yeah,
Well, let's talk just a little bit about, because you do have a heart for men. Let's talk a little bit about maybe what kind of things do you cover in your books that you might want to just tease us with as far as any kind of advice or, foundational principles of what it means to be a man and a leader.
absolutely. One of the things we have a meeting once a month. It's called Meeting of the Kings. And the Meeting of the Kings is men coming together and we have different topics. So this particular week, which is Monday, we meet the first Monday of each month. I'm talking about 5 things that you only share with those that are close to you. And so, just to give a snapshot of that, number one, your dreams and your vision. You can't share your dreams and vision with everyone because everyone is not a dreamer or visionary and they won't get it. Um, some may have a hard time understanding why you do what you do and why you spend the countless hours helping others and putting people on your platform. And so your dreams and visions need to be restricted to those that can understand. And normally those that are in your inner circle that get it. Um, and then number two, your personal struggles. Your personal struggles again can't be shared with the world because everybody won't be able to receive you if they really knew you. So, uh, that's the real you has to be exclusive to those that are close enough to handle the real you. Um, and then number three, your financial success or your financial status. Again, if everyone knew what you made or didn't make, they may look at you different. And so you have to guard that as well, exclusively to maybe a financial advisor or someone
Yeah.
that can handle that kind of information. Number four, your next big move. Um, we have to move in silence. Sometimes we get excited and we share, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And it adds extra stress to you because now you got to get it done, because you kind of put it out there. But if you keep it to yourself and your faith and maybe a couple of close friends, you have that you're able to add patience to that and run your own race and then when you're ready to, then you can expose it to the world once it's up and running. So your next big move. And then finally, your innermost fears, those things that are really you kind of really are concerned about. Those two must be guarded and only shared with your confidant, maybe a counselor or a life coach or someone like that. So those are 5 things. We get more involved, but those 5 things really can change your life if you know how to guard those things.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah,
such good advice. I love that. Yeah. Your next big move. I like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We all have a next big move, and we just I'm like that. I'm ready to put it on Facebook. I'm ready to make a flyer. And I'm like, wait a minute, I haven't done it yet. So let me slow down, you know.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and two, you're building a community too of men around you, and what you do, from what I could tell. What would you say to the man who maybe doesn't have a community yet?
Well, one, he's welcome to join ours. We are a worldwide community, so we're not just in Jacksonville. He can join. He goes to connectwithdrkirk.com and he'll see my link tree and he can definitely go to Meeting of the Kings and connect with us. we're going to be sharing our meetings on Zoom, so he'll be able to connect that way as well. Um, and I say to men, just be encouraged. We do wear a lot of hats at times. Sometimes we're the plumber, sometimes we're the yard man and the dad, the husband, and all of that. And it's okay to know how to balance all of that, and so you can still be present, um, for yourself as well. So we talk about self care. We talk about the importance of getting checkups and going to the doctors. you know, Not trying to self diagnose ourselves all the time. you know, but I had a really bad scare last year, trying to self diagnose, and I almost wouldn't hear. So you got to go to the doctors, and it's okay to do that. So we talk about all of that.
Yeah, the concept of having having to be the strong one, or normally, men want to be strong. And
Hmm.
then the admitting the weakness sometimes is hard, huh?
Absolutely. We grew up, men don't cry, wipe your tears, tough it out, or the famous one, man up, And
Rub some
so,
dirt on it.
right, right, And so we would fall on our bikes, and our dad say, "Get up, you're all right." And we're like bleeding, and so we had to learn that, society maybe wasn't the best teacher at times, and I think we're learning, especially with the newer generation, that it's okay to tap into who you really are as a person. And um, for me, I know I'm a very caring person, very compassionate. I have two girls. I'm a girl dad, so um, they're grown, but they're still spoiled. So I'm
Of
always
course, of
just
course.
loving on them, and because my dad, he was a manly man, but he cried. He shared his true emotions with me, and that helped me a lot. Yeah, so
Yeah, what a good example that would be. I can imagine. Yeah. Yeah.
it really was. It really was, because it helped shape how I parented my kids. You know, Now I was firm when I needed to be, but I wanted them to see both sides. I always tell the men, your child should not only hear your voice when you're saying, "Bring me my belt." You know,
Mhm.
they need to hear your voice when you're saying, "I love you.
Yeah.
Great job on your report card. Um, you did a great job at the soccer game today." They need to hear all sides of dad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's good. That's good.
yeah, yeah. So we get into that, and we also get into relationships. Whether they're married or single, and the different levels of access that someone has based on their relationship with you. Because everyone shouldn't have the same access, but it should be based on their relationship with you and your comfortability. So, and you're the owner of that, not them. And so we talk about all of that.
Yeah, that's so great. I love that. I love that. Well, what else do you have going on? What else do you want to share before we end our time today?
Well, I just want to also share that if there are people listening that want to connect, again, it's connect with Dr. Kirk, and that's just DR. So it's connect with DRKIRK.com. When you go there, you'll see a landing page, and you can hit connect now, and my link tree will pull up, and you'll see all the different things I do. My books, the access to my books are there as well. Um, and the other thing is, I have a ministry called Kingdom Covenant Connection, and that's for ministry and business owners. So you can join for free, and we have two platforms. So for business, you can call or you can text and get information about business. I do business startups. So if you're thinking of starting a business, I can help you with that. If you already have a business but it's slow, you just need some help with relaunching, I can help you with that as well. So we do all of that, as well as if you need business insurance, of course, we do that also. So we pretty much are a resource for
Yeah.
whatever you need. Yeah.
Love it. Love it. Well, we'll be sure and link all of that in the comments so that people can find you very easily. And
Thank you.
I just want to thank you, Dr. Dr. Kirk, I guess. Is that?
That's fine. Yeah, yeah, perfect.
It reminds me of Star Trek just a little bit.
Everybody says that. Captain Kirk.
Captain Kirk, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I really appreciate you coming on and sharing your story and sharing your wisdom and what you have to offer and yeah, and your heart and sharing your heart with us. So thank you so
Well,
much for being with us.
thank you. And I want to say thank you for, Be Awesome Network. And Lori, you're a jewel. You're a special person to the kingdom and to people because not everybody creates a platform for other people to shine. That goes a long way. It means a lot. And I know that people that are watching can see your heart in everything that you do. And maybe one day, if you're in Jacksonville, love to show you around the facility. We have a business incubator here. So I have about 25 business owners in this building, and we're pouring into them all the time as well. So
Wow.
thank you for all that you do. It means a lot.
Well, thank you. I really appreciate that. It means a lot to me to hear that. So I appreciate you saying it.
Stay encouraged. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and those of you who are joining us, if you're watching right now or you're watching the replay later, be sure to check out the comments so that you can connect with Dr. Kirk, not Captain Kirk, Dr. Kirk.
That's right.
And do you have any closing thoughts for us before we sign off?
Just want to say to the business owners, be encouraged. Every day is different. Know that your greatest customer, your best customers are normally going to be outside of your circle. So don't get discouraged when sometimes those that are close to you may not support like they should. They will in time, but they're going to watch first. So just stay focused, stay encouraged, be your best fan and your best advocate, and also your best critic. Push yourself to those, and that's for ministry or business owners. So just want to encourage you. And if you need us, we're here.
Love it. Thank you
Yeah.
so much, Dr. Kirk. Well, and if you're listening right now and you are wanting to connect with Dr. Kirk, please do so. Again, we're linking everything in the comments. And then I also want to just tell you that you are awesome and that we can be awesome together. And that's what this is really all about. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you guys next time.
Right. Be awesome.
Love it. Awesome.